Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerous, and today I have a ranked Henselt deck for you guys, and that is the Field Medic Scorch Machines deck. And this is a kind of deck that got played first, I believe, when Team Pixie played it during the TGI tournament. I know Dagon plays this deck basically more or less like this, although he runs Death Mold instead of Margarita and no First Light. But this is the deck here, and this is kind of a 28 card deck. Well, it just is. Because you have a lot of thinning and cards that play other cards, like, I think it's okay to run it this way. If you're kind of uncomfortable running that many cards, you could potentially cut the Reaver Scouts and that would, bring it down. But I like them because basically you can cycle them with the Field Medics and thin your deck that way. So Field Medics, you choose a bronze ally and you shuffle it back into your deck, and then you play one from your deck. So you can kind of use this to try and find the Reaver Scouts and then thin, poor infantry or K20s or ballista or reinforced ballista out of your deck. So there's a lot of thinning in that regard. You also have Stennis, which gives you thinning, and then you have Neneke to put cards back if you need to kind of set up your Henselt, for example. The Neneke can be really good for that. Now, some people like to run Royal Decree. Again, that gives you more thinning. I like to run Philippa instead. Like, Royal Decree is nice in that you can target draw a gold card, but it can also kind of be a dead draw, whereas Philippa gives you a little bit of control. She's a good card, and I personally like to run Philippa, but there's nothing wrong with running Royal Decree, especially as this is a 28 card deck. I also have, like I say, Margarita instead. Margarita's nice because she's a lock, so I feel like she's very good against Ceres decks, for example, where you can lock the Ceres and stop it from resurrecting, which is really nice. So I like to run her instead of Death Mold, and then just run a First Light in case you feel like there's going to be weather, because if not, that just becomes a rally. So then we have Commander's Horn and Reinforcements that we're going to be using with John Natalis. These are tactics cards, so we can use John Natalis to target draw either the Horn or the Reinforcements. We can use the Reinforcements to find a bronze or silver soldier, machine, officer, or support. So you can't actually draw Margarita with Reinforcements, but you can draw, I think, more or less anything else in the deck, Stennis included. Maybe not Neneke. No, you can draw Neneke. She's a support. My bad. Yeah, so just be aware that you can't draw Margarita with Reinforcements. So we have Dijkstra, play the top 2 cards in your deck. So we've got some kind of power plays. We've got a lot of thinning. We have Henselt we can use to, thin 3 of a target out of the deck. And ideally, you're going to be using Henselt on something like a K20 or a Ballista, because you can use him to basically pull out ballistas and get a lot of damage. Because at the moment in the meta, there are a lot of units which have similar amounts of health. So you can actually get a huge amount of value out of the ballistas in the current state of the game. And then last but not least, we have a Scorch. Basically, because all of your units are very small, the only time you're going to really have a big unit is if you play Commander's Horn. So you're very likely to get good value out of Scorch, especially against, say, Skoya Spell or Spellatel or whatever you want to call them, where people are playing some very buffed units. You have kind of options there. Anyway, guys, this is the deck. If you like it, hit that thumbs up button. And without further ado, I'm going to jump into a ranked game, and I'll showcase this deck in action for you.
Mahakam wasn't built in a day.
You want peace? Fight for it.
Okay, so we're up against Brouver. Now, Brouver can mean... It can mean weather. There's also, I believe, a deck made by Petrify or Pumpkin going around, which plays Brouver. And it's Brouver into... It basically goes Brouver into Yavin, into Royal Decree, into Eskel. So that's an interesting one that we could be playing against. We've got Scorch, we've got Reinforcements, but it might not be, is the thing. We've got Reaver Scout, we've got 2 K20, 1 Infantry. We probably just want 1 K20. The thing is, if they kill the other K20, then it makes life a little bit awkward for us, because then we can't Henselt them. We've got a Reaver Scout. I think we get rid of this. We've got 2 Reinforced Ballistas. We'll get rid of one of those. 2 poor infantry. I'm just trying to find gold cards here, really. It's nice to have a mix of bronzes. Apparently we just don't get gold cards today, so it's one of those sort of games. And we'll play out a Kadoni Siege support now onto the board. The problem is, if he has control, he'll probably just kill it. So, it's a bit of an awkward start, but we can cycle them with Neneke. Okay, so I think it's movement then. So I think what we'll do is we'll play Henselt, and this gives us officers, which means we can hopefully kill the marksman, and then we'll pull more siege support. He's going to be stacking my units anyway with the movement effects, so I'm wondering if it's better to put them together or separate them. This is the question. I think I may as well stack them together.
Trouble approaches.
I realize that this opens me up to Hailstorm and stuff, but the thing is, they're going to be moving my units anyway, and this gives me 2 slots for double officers, because these are, sorry, crewmen, because these are crewmen. That's the pass. Wow. Okay, no Kidwennies for me. We can shuffle 2 of them back into the deck should we want to with the Neki. So we have that option. Do we dry pass here? The thing is, movement actually likes long rounds, so we probably don't want to dry pass here. What we probably want to do is play into this round. Thinking what I want to pull here, or what I want to get rid of. I think we could get rid of a ballista, because we can kind of try and target draw them out. And I was going to say, what would be good is if we had more gold cards. The thing is, if I play Stennis, it gives me the top loyal bronze or silver unit in my deck. But if that's like a Reaver Scout, that's awkward. If it's, you know, a weapon, it's awkward. We maybe just play poor flanking infantry for now. They work better with Kidwenny, but because we forced them out in the last round, like, it's okay to play this like this.
I'll feed you to the crows!
Because the thing is, ideally, we do want to try and bleed him here. This is actually really nice if we play Ballista, that they're all stacked up like that. So, let's do that. Unfortunately, like I said, we don't have any crewmen, because our crewmen were Henselt and the Kidwenny that I played. So, and we can't resurrect them is the thing. We could put them back in our deck, though. It's probably actually worth Nenekiing some Kidwenny back into the deck. We'll do the premium ones. Oh wait, we can put them all back into our deck. Just because this way, if we can draw one, we can get some crewmen out, and that would be quite useful. I realize it makes it less likely that we'll draw golds is the only issue, and having only drawn Philippa, that's, you know, kind of problematic. Okay, I maybe should have shot them, but never mind. So if we Stennis, actually no, we can reinforcements, right? So we can reinforcements, and this time pull another Kidwenny. And pop that out.
Uh-oh. Trouble approaches.
And now we've got a crewman. So now we can start to do extra damage with these. Or I could get locked. Which is annoying.
You one of us or not?
But, as we say here on my YouTube, not the end of the world. Because we can get another one.
Sure, no problem.
Is he going to kill it? Bloody hell. That's okay. So then here's the field medic strategy. So we play field medic, you put the Reaver Scout back in, and then basically what you're trying to do there is pull another Reaver Scout and then, you know, chain them out basically. We can also put this Kidwenny Siege Support back in our deck on the off chance that we can draw it. But really what we're doing here is we're trying to bleed the Brouver because, you know, we can play, you know, big power plays basically and he can't. So we'll play this field medic.
You must sweat like a
Put this one back in the deck into a ballista. And ideally here I want to use this to set up a Scorch, or at least to set up targets for the other ballista basically, so that they're all more or less similar strength. Which would mean shooting probably this guy. Because then we can shoot the 8s and then all the 7s with this ballista. My issue at the moment is that I don't have... what's it called? My issue at the moment is I don't have crewmen, which is kind of awkward. So we'll play this other ballista and shoot this one. And here, like, the game's just been a little bit unlucky in terms of how we chain. That does happen sometimes.
Upon which your kind dies.
Question is, do we play Stennis here? I do think I want to bleed him more. The problem is like I said, we don't have crewmen. I can burn all of these 8s though. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would burn my own 8 though. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'd lose 1. That's still a 24-point Scorch. I think we take it. I think we take the 24-point Scorch. And we probably also want to Philippa this turn. But beyond that, like, we've got Stennis for a power play for, like, later on, so we should be okay. If we drew, like, Dijkstra, for example, that would be really nice. But sometimes it's not to be. And there's all these 7s as well. See, this is why crewmen would be so nice. And so part of me is tempted to go for it and try and Stennis out a crewman so that I can get the extra shots in. But, you know, it's maybe not to be. Because if you can get the crewman, then you get to shoot all of those guys again, basically.
Nothing like a dwarf to get you take sport.
Okay, so he's got a lot of dwarfs and stuff left. Overdose. So if I play this, I'm still going to be behind, and he's got 3 cards. The question is, are my cards going to be better than his 3 cards? I think we're probably okay to pass here. Like, Philippa is worth quite a lot. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, wow. I got Yavened. that's kind of to be expected. Like, often people play Yaven. If you can play Yaven and get away with it, you should play Yaven, because he's basically going to be, you know, points to your opponent in the final round that you don't want to give. Oh, nice top decks. We are done here. So the issue is if Stennis pulls a... The issue is basically if Stennis pulls a Reaver Scout.
Stand before royal
would be awkward as shit. We unfortunately don't get to shoot anything, but we have armor, so that's nice. So now we can play Dijkstra.
See me smiling. I'm dead serious.
Into a Kidweni. Do I want to play this? I'm just wondering if I want to play this all on one row. Or whether I'm okay to, like, spread out the units. If I row stack, I'm likely to get hailstormed.
Trouble approaches.
But I can also then do this.
Dark clouds gather over
into this. And toot. So, you know, I think it's probably okay.
You're dead already.
Okay. And then we'll play Philippa. She's gonna die, but we've got lots of targets to get lots of damage out. And as things currently stand, we did win the game. And I just realized I didn't put my Gwent tracker on. This deck is much, much easier if you can track what's in your deck, because you get those thinning effects. You know, maybe we shouldn't have been so keen with the Kidweni on the first round. But the thing is, like, sometimes it's worth doing that just to force your opponent out of the round. And I do think when you play against movement, it's smart to bleed them in the second round, because they don't have as much tempo play there. Like, you saw he played, what, a Drought, a couple Marksmen. Like, they're all very low point plays. The whole point of the deck is to earn points over a long round. So I feel like that, well, it worked out. I mean, we did win. Anyway, I'm going to jump into another game, and I'll showcase this deck in action once more for you guys.
Men of Kedwen, attack!
Okay, so it's against Dagon. Dagon can be Consume or it can be Swarm. And this time we got gold cards, so this is nice. We have Stennis, Ballista, Infantry, Kidweni, Ballista, Reaper Scout. So we can actually get our Kidweni out without using Henselt, which is really nice. Because it means we can save our Henselt for pulling Ballistas later, should we want to. And all in all, this is actually a really nice hand. The only, I mean, it would have been maybe nice to have a couple more silvers. But in terms of the rest of our cards, it's pretty good. I'm going to get rid of this Reinforced Ballista for now. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, we're pretty Gucci here, you guys. We're pretty Gucci. PFI work really well with the Kidweni, so I think we'll keep this hand and just go with this and see how it goes. Opponent goes first. So we're really kind of wondering whether this is going to be Consume or Swarm. If it's Swarm, the Ballista are incredibly good against Swarm, because we can use that to kill a lot of the small units before he can buff them with his Yennefer. So all in all, I think it's pretty nice. Frost. What the hell is going on? This is where a Field Medic would be nice, because we could take him out of the Frost. We're gonna... Well, the Reaver Scout will die here. I was gonna say we can Reaver Scout, but I don't know if I want the Reaver Scout to die. This is where a Field Medic would be really good, because we can use that to take him out of the Frost. Alternatively, the First Light. I honestly didn't expect this person to play Frost. I guess it's Weather? Swarm? I don't know what this is. Like, typically with Swarm, you don't run Wild Hunt Hounds. You just run lots of small units and boost them up. My issue at the moment is I don't have really good options to clear Weather. So playing into a round like this is going to be really awkward for me. So potentially we just pass. The problem is I played both my Kidwenis from hand, which means that I don't have another one to play for officers. Although I can use Henselt as an officer. So that's quite nice. And we can always Shani one of these, actually. So I think we just let him have this one. I don't have my First Light to deal with it, which is kind of an issue. And the other issue with running First Light like this is obviously Reinforcements doesn't pull First Light. So you kind of have to draw it. There's a Ballista, and... Oh, there's First Light. Okay, cool. Well, we'll mulligan a Ballista, because we can, like I say, Henselt those out. So we'll mulligan one of those, and maybe try and find a Field Medic would be nice, because then we can use that to cycle the Reaver Scout. If he passes here, we can probably just play the poor Infantry and win. The problem is if he plays, we ideally want to make a play that, like, keeps pace with him in terms of the number of points that he has. We can resurrect a Kidweni, but if we do that and he passes, that makes our life kind of awkward. There's an Ekamara. We can lock the Ekamara. But that's a low-ish tempo play. So I need 11 points. I need 12 points. So if I resurrect one of these, that's only 11 points, which isn't very good. I can play Philippa, and that would probably clear all of his units. Well, let me think. 5, then it would hit 1 for 4, 3, 2. Yeah, so I can clear it, regardless of how the jump pattern goes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, he might have 1 point. Then we'd be on a tie. Oh, this is a bit risky. Let's take the risk.
No mercy for your kind.
Philippa, don't let me down. There we go. There we go. Philippa's one true bay. Now we have a point. So this is what I mean about making plays where we keep tempo with him. We want to be ahead such that if he passes, we aren't down a card. That is not a great play. So Shani
Sure. Be glad to.
into... And I realize we're spending golds here into Kidweni, but I think we need to kind of try and force him out of this round. The alternative was we could have played the poor infantry and just left it at that. But he's committed Frost, so I feel like he wants to commit Weather. He's not going to take damage here at the moment, so this is okay. But he's going to die next turn, unless we can find a field medic. Alternatively, we just clear the Weather. But I feel like he's probably going to play more Weather. Like, he hasn't played, you know, the Fog Dude or anything, so 1 Weather's not really that big of a deal. So alternatively, we play poor flanking infantry, in which case they all get buffed and he dies. We can try and find a field medic with Stennis, in which case we might get poor infantry, which is fine, Kidweni siege support, which is fine, Reaver Scout, which is fine, Ballistas. So maybe we just go for a Stennis play. It could pull Naneki though, which isn't that useful here.
You stand before royal majesty.
Hey, this is what we wanted to see, because we can then put this back in the deck into one of these, and we'll shoot this one. I don't actually have Scorch, so I maybe should be shooting the Drowner, but meh. Meh. And we could chain out the field medics with the Reaver Scout, and then put the Reaver Scout back into the deck, which stops it from dying here. So this is like the kind of Reaver Scout play, is you play the Reaver Scout, pull a field medic, put the Reaver Scout back in your deck, and pull something else. And we still have good options for Stennis. So I'm kind of quite happy with this situation.
I do not mince words. On.
I'm guessing he'll go Ekamara, yeah. So we could Margarita here. Margarita here is not bad. I'm not really sure what this deck is, though. It's like a consume weather movement deck. Like, it doesn't really feel very consistent. So if we Margarita, we stop this from being carryover. But do we have that much issue with him having 6 carryover, is then the question. I'm not sure that we do. I think we can play her here. The question is he going to play something else that we'd want to kind of use this on? But I don't think he's playing a full consume deck, like, so he's not going to play Nekkas or anything. The only other thing that he could play that would be a problem is Succubus. Oh, well, I guess I could have locked that. That is a good lock target. So he's gonna transform. There's not a lot we can do about that.
I told you so, you idiot.
What
Put
do
this
you
here.
want of me?
Pick this up. Put this here.
Salutations.
And he transforms and shoots everyone. Which is kind of to be expected. The only issue I really have is that we're stacking rows. We also have John Natalis into Commander's Horn as a play. We have, like, kind of good options, really. You just lock me? It's so rude, you guys. It's so rude. I'm just wondering exactly how much we want to commit to this round. I think we'll play our poor infantry. I mean, it's nicer when you have the K20 to buff them, but they're still, you know, a 10-point play. It's still not a bad play. And with Henselt and Dijkstra, I feel like we're in a really comfortable position with our cards. He's not played any golds, though. Well, he's played one. I lie. He's played Spear Tip, which for some reason isn't showing up in the tracker. Okay, take something from my graveyard. But you take the Kidweni, right? Okay. So I guess we play Natalis here. And then Toot.
Dark clouds gather over Temeria.
He's kind of draining my cards, which is awkward. I don't want to commit Henselt, and I don't want to commit Ballista. I'd rather use those on the next round. We could play the first slate, in which case do we rally? Because rallying is kind of an interesting play. He lacerated front. I guess back had armor, so that makes sense. I think we have to go for the rally then. See what we pull. Reaver Scout.
You one of us or not?
Field Medic.
Tell me you jest.
Put this back in the deck.
I told you so, you idiot.
Do I want a Ballista or a Poor Infantry? I think I want Poor Infantry.
You can try to win.
And yeah, so that is the play there, just for the record, you guys. I'm 28 points up. Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably not gonna play into this, but then I win like with cards up, so we're in a pretty nice spot here. We're in a really nice spot, but I don't understand this deck at all, and he still hasn't played any gold cards. This is fine, I think. Like, Naneki reinforcements would be nice, but I don't want to risk pulling a Ballista if I keep this one, so we'll just leave it at that. So at the moment he doesn't have a lot of cards, so we'll just play... We'll play this one. Because we want to play the one that we want to Henselt, because that gives us an officer. Caretaker. What are you going to take? Stennis?
Pieces
Into
priceless.
Harpies. Okay. So this is pretty good. So now we can play Henselt, which gives us an officer.
Men of Kedwen, attack!
So we pulled this. There's no point shooting the 5 because it's got so much armor. But we shoot the 4s, and then the 3s, and then we can shoot the 2s and then the 1s. So we'll put him here. So shoot the 2s, shoot all the 1s, and unfortunately we pulled him a Harpy, so maybe not the best ordering there. But you can see that the way you can kind of get value out of the ballistas is pretty neat. Did he just scorch both of my 6s? Wow. Wow. So I'll play this. Oh wait, shit! I shouldn't have played this. If I pull Scorch with Dijkstra, like, I'm gonna burn my own 7. Okay, there we go. Then now we'll burn his 7 too. So that's fine. So hopefully we don't pull Scorch. Oh, but now I burn both of my 7s. Shit. It's dangerous. Oh, he forfeited. Oh, thank God for that. We didn't have to worry about the Scorch. Did not have to worry about the Scorch. Because, like, there would have been a situation potentially there where I scorched myself and he might have won. Depending on how I played those points. So, fortunately, he didn't want to see us through to the end. We weren't likely to draw the Scorch, but it definitely could have happened, and that definitely could have been pretty bad. So, I'm going to be happy with that. But yeah, that's the deck. You can kind of see the chaining effect with the, what are they called? Field Medics with the Reaver Scouts, and you can kind of see the way in which you use your Henselt. You can use them early with the K20, or you can use them late like I did in the final game with something like the Ballistas, and get decent value out of him. Even with the, yeah, lots of different kind of ways you can use him. I think you can actually use him with Poor Infantry, because I think he only pulls certain kinds of units, and Poor Infantry are included in that. I can check this. I never try and pull Poor Infantry, so I'm actually pretty sure that you can't. Because he used to pull anything, and now I don't think that he does. So let me check this. Yeah, he pulls a Bronze, Machine, or K20. So you can't pull Field Medics, and you can't pull Poor Infantry, but you can pull Ballistas, Reinforced Ballistas, and K20 Siege Support. That's how that works. I always forget, and then you can cycle the Field Medics with the Reaver Scouts. And you can pull Poor Infantry that way as well. Anyway, guys, that's the deck. If you like this deck, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And you can always subscribe to the channel. If you want to catch me playing Gwent live, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jaggerous. You can follow me on Twitter @Jaggerous. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!